everyone, and happy independence, Nigeria. So today we have a discussion that you're going to love. Your anchor for this program is my humble self, Ebenezer Okwama, and today we'll be discussing Nigeria. The topic for today is which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria in the Agric sector? And with me here, I have Engineer Olabowale Onamade, the Global Director at Bellefu Digital Agriculture. And I also have Dr. Dotun Adebenju, the CEO of Hida Crown Investment Limited from the United Kingdom. Welcome, gentlemen. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Yes, good. Engineer, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for having us.
All right. So thank you for accepting to be part of this discourse. So which way Nigeria in the Agric sector? Now, as you all know, Nigeria is a very beautiful country with over 200 million people. And the issue of food is a major concern, considering that we are producing less than the population we have. And also considering the recent economic crisis that we are in serious food crisis at the moment. And today we are celebrating the 63rd year. So I would like you to lend your opinion on some of the questions that I'm going to ask here. And then starting with Engineer Ola, I want you to tell us, where is the place of the government? Where is the place of the government, and what are the roles the government can take on to ensure we have food security in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy Independence, Nigeria. Nigeria at 63. Before I start, I want to acknowledge that the flag of Nigeria is green, white, green. And if we look at what that denotes, it notes green is for agriculture and white is for peace. And in our local parlance, they say an hungry man is an angry man. All the unrest we have in Nigeria recently is due to food insecurity. Because if food is out of poverty, the remaining is the problem is solved at 50%. So Nigeria is a blessed country. In my own opinion, I always feel Nigeria is the Garden of Eden because we don't have natural disasters. The weather is good, the soil is blessed, and we have human resources, hardworking people. But now, going back to your question on what the government should do, the first responsibility of government is to secure its people. And what do we mean by securing people? It's not about in the military architecture. What we have to first talk about is food security. Food security is paramount. When people have food on their table and government can provide food security, I think the agitation and rest in the society is going to be cut off by 50%. Now, looking at the roles of government in the food and agricultural sector, the first thing the government needs to do, like I said, is food security. How do they secure? How are they going to do this in Nigeria? I want to tell you that problems as and they are particular to a nation. The approach of the Western world will be different from of Nigeria. Now, looking at Nigeria, the first thing the government is people know of every Nigeria having a kind of soil map, an agricultural map for Nigeria, so that each corner of Nigeria can know the kind of soil they have and the kind of crop that can grow on their soil. So farmers will not be toiling in vain. People will not just be planting what is not going to give them maximum yield in their zone. So this is one of the responsibilities of government to do for the whole nation. My opinion, and I think the next thing to do for government by government is to also create communication avenue. I feel farmers suffer in their own corners, and they don't have community where they can communicate the challenge in their environment about their crops and the animals. So I think what government should do is to kind of agricultural radio station where farmers can hear their challenges and able to talk about it freely, and other people will contribute to it to say, okay, this I have encountered before, and this was the solution, so that farmers can interact and solve their problems without having to spend so much money and having access to easy communication channel. Then the government should also encourage young farmers. I mean, from secondary school, young farmers should be encouraged to have young farmers club and create kind of a farmers market for the young ones to have interest in agriculture. So creating an enabling environment, first thing I think government should provide for its people, so that people can do more on their agriculture.
Yeah, thank you, Engineer Ola. You talked about the government creating an agricultural map and providing a soil support system. So thank you for that. Then about creating about encouraging young farmers club. I also like to add that apart from the secondary school, we need such clubs also in tertiary institutions, so that while we prep them up at the secondary level, we also encourage them to start doing something at the tertiary level as well. All right, so I would like to come to Dr. Dotun. Yes, I want to find out what, in your opinion, do you think the government needs to do to ensure that Nigeria achieves food security?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Happy independence to Nigeria, and greetings to all viewers across the world.
Thank you.
Now, in my own opinion, the government has a lot to do, and on the other hand, we citizens, we have our own part to play too. Now, considering the economic aspect of Nigeria nowadays, you will see that most people are not able, to eat these square meals. Most of them they can't afford to buy feedstuffs for animals. There are animals on the farm that farmers could not. What I think the government can do, how they come in, is, giving out soft loans to farmers. Loan with one digit. Now, loan as low as 5 to 9%, it's okay for farmers. They will be able to afford, and they will be able to pay back instrumentally. But when loans are not given, farmers will not be able, to access some of the farm inputs that are supposed to be used on the farm to make their work easier and faster. Let me stop there for now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. Now, the one of the issues with giving soft loans to farmers is
Yeah.
some persons abuse it. Some persons abuse that opportunity. So just a quick one. Is there a way the government can give out these loans to people who are genuine farmers, who can actually put these loans to work, to put it to good work? Because some persons, when you give them loan, they divert it into something else.
Yes. Thank you very much, moderator. Now, firstly, the Agric Sector, through the Ministry of Agric, should by now have a database of genuine farmers. This can be gotten from each local government. Let them collect and get uh, um, the number of farmers that we have in each of the local governments in our states and throughout the federation. Now, when they finish doing this, what they can do is let farmers apply through a platform that is being organized by the government. Then each farmer will now produce three guarantors. Three guarantors. If they can produce those guarantors, whatever happens to the money given to them as loan, those guarantors will be fished out and they will produce the money. It has happened so well in so many aspects, so many sectors in Nigeria. In the university system now, if they give you a certain loan to do a research, you must have a guarantor. One person, maybe your professor, he must be a guarantor. Then two other people, maybe religious setting or anything, that they know that they can easily fish you out through them. So the government can do this as well. Let the farmers produce three guarantors, and these three guarantors will be able to monitor the loan and fish out any farmer that defaults in paying back the loan or using the loan to what it is supposed to be used for. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. That's very insightful.
Yeah.
I hope that the government is listening, and most persons have said that these loans, when they give them out, they are going to misuse them. But if you follow your opinion on this, your suggestion, I think we can go a long way in actually getting to the farmers, the real farmers, who will do something meaningful
Yeah.
with these loans. Thank you. Now, Dr. Dotun, I would like you to. Now we've talked about what the government can do, where the government is in all of these crises that we have. Now, how about individuals? Individuals, what can we do to help ourselves? What can we do to help ourselves? While we are waiting on the government to do what they need to do, are there things that we can do as individuals to help ourselves?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. As individuals, there are so many things we can do. Let me start by the saying of my Oga, Engineer Bowali Nomadi. He will always say that the forbidden fruit that we have eaten in Nigeria is the fuel. And ever since we have, put our eyes into crude oil, that is where our problem starts from. So people are not ready to use their hands to get money again. They want quick money. Now, agriculture has gone down the drain in recent times. There are no more people on the farm again. Let me cite an example. I visited a village some time ago, and I was asking a farmer. I said, you are the only one doing this. Where is your son? Where is your daughter? Who is helping you? They said, you that you are talking, why are you here? You came from somewhere. Do you expect my children to be on the farm to sit with me, doing this with me? You know, and I concluded by, telling him that I am not saying that your children should do this for you, but you should have hands, people that you pay, there are secondary school leavers around you, wasting around, playing lotto, playing all sorts of things. Get them to work, give them stipends, and let them work for you. And the man agreed. Individual, we need to start reorientating ourselves. All of us cannot sit in the office. All of us cannot wear ties. If you see me on the farm packing letters, you will never know that I'm a PhD holder. These are the things we can do. Let people start to know that this Yoruba adage, I'm very sorry to say this, that whatever you do with your hands, you can be rest assured that something good is coming out of it. So I will encourage individuals, to go back to the farm in one way or the other. Plant something at your backyard. We have done that in the past years. Each family will have a garden. You plant vegetables, you plant all sorts of things, cucumber, things like that. But nowadays, we have left the farm, we have left the garden. All of us want to sit in the office, all of us want to buy at ShopRite. The commodities that they sell at ShopRite, some people planted them. Why can't we plant ourselves in our garden? Supply to ShopRite. ShopRite will be willing to buy from you. Rear chickens at your backyard in a small scale. Then process it, sell to eateries around you. They are ready and willing to buy. So as individuals, we need to do this. I also want to put it to you on record that in our universities, our colleges, and all tertiary institutions, we need to, our curriculum to be redesigned. Something like agribusiness should be put into our curriculum, and let them start teaching us how to make money with our hands, not the theory thing alone. Doing, you are getting out of school, and your brain is telling you that you have to look for a job. You need to start something, however small, on your own. Another thing is,
Thank you.
okay, thank you very much.
No, go on.
Okay, I also want to say that individuals, you need to understand your environment. Look at the needs in your environment. For example, when I finished from the university and I was to go for my youth corps, I went there for the orientation. I was able to know that chicken is very expensive in Ebonyi State, precisely where I serve, and it is not in abundance at all. So I key into that. I came back to the southwest. I got a box of broiler chicken day old. You can imagine how fragile that they are. I transported them to Ebonyi State. I reared them and sold them to eateries around me, and I made my money. In fact, I was able to borrow other coppers stipends before they collect their halawi, and that's how I made my money. And I came back with that money and registered for masters. Can you imagine? So let us think out of the box. Look at your environment. Study your environment. Look at what people need and key into it. Very sure that will make Nigeria great. Do that. Thank you very much.
Wow. That's powerful. The part where you talked about, we need to come to unlearn and relearn, to know that
Yes.
agriculture is the way out. The agriculture is the way out. It's not a dirty man's, it's not a dirty job. It's not a dirty job. It's not for poor
No.
people. Yeah. So as individuals, we can do something. We can go into farming. So I would like to hear from Engineer Onamade. What do you think about us as individuals? What can the common Nigeria, the common people on the street, what can they do in agriculture to make ends meet, to ensure that there is food on the table?
Thank you very much. Like Dr. Dotun has said, we need to change our mindset. I think everything starts from the mind. People have this mindset that agriculture is meant for some people, some low-level people, and they feel that it's a dirty job that they don't want to involve themselves. And that is wrong. If you go to some part of the world, America, go to Germany, you realize that farmers are the richest in those parts of the world. And why are they the richest? Because um, everybody contribute their own quota. In Holland, for example, you see people having street gardens where everybody on the street can come out, plant on those gardens and harvest. They share, they buy, they sell within themselves. And this is what we should do as individuals and as communities. In Nigeria, we have a lot of um, houses that has extra space behind them. They can do some small animal husbandries. They can do vegetable farming, and before you know what is going on, you are able to save some money. You take to the market to buy those things, to buy fruits and vegetable. So as individuals, we should be able to plant and grow things by ourselves and be able to improve our economical value. Then again, most farmers, most people who doesn't know about agriculture, the world has become a very small village, a global village. You can train yourself over online on YouTube. You can train yourself, talk to people, and before you know it, you are able to do some things. And in the urban areas nowadays, you see people growing mushroom in their room, in their kitchens, and you see all these things will give economical value, and people will be able to buy and sell those small things of value and save some money. So like Dr. Dotun said, and we need the youth to look deep into agribusiness. For example, if a farmer is producing and youth are able to add value to it and use the social media to sell it, because that is what is involved now, that is going to encourage the farmer to keep producing because he already have an off-taker, especially the youth corps. You have the youth corps go to whatever area they go for their primary assignment, and they keep complaining this place is boring, this place is lonely, this place is this, without looking deep into the environment and looking at what God has blessed that environment with, so they can harness it and bless the community where they are coming from. You see a lot of people will go to Jos and say Jos is boring. Jos is blessed, where you can package food, you can dry food, you can do a lot of things, make tomato paste when tomato is cheap, send it back. And people, when I talk about making tomato paste, people think you need an industrial way to do it. No, you can steam tomato to paste and use granite oil or vegetable oil to use as cover for it. You don't even need refrigeration, because all these things is just for microorganisms not to attack it. So when you have it, you can transport it to a bigger city to go and sell, and people will definitely buy. So individuals, we need to open up our intellect and be able to look deep around. And because God really blessed Nigeria, God really blessed Nigeria with everything. So we need to look deep and be able to harness the resources God has put in our environment. So let's make use of our spaces, let's make use of our backyards, let's make use of the social media, because the social media has become a lot of distraction, and it's going to distract a lot of destiny, destroy a lot of destiny that cannot use it properly. People will go on social media to waste their time. Meanwhile, they can go on social media to sell products. You have a woman producing a melon or gari by your house, still looking for market. You can go there, make it look neat, take a picture of it, put it on social media and sell. You make some money. The woman is happy. You are happy. You are not just using your data. We need to have the right attitude towards agriculture and food sustainability in Nigeria. Not just about us waiting for government to do everything. We know government have their roles to play, but individual charity begins at home, they say. So if we start from home and we are able to plant tomatoes, we are able to plant vegetables, we are able to plant some maize, we are able to grow some rabbits, we are able to grow some chicken, and people can have those proteins and vegetables and to reduce the amount they spend in the market. It's going to help the family, help the community, and at the same time, help the nation at large.
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Onamadi. Now, there are some things you raised that I want you to throw more light on. Now, in the areas of making tomato paste, planting things here and there, Nigerians, the kind of youth we have, we want to just hammer, want to blow, get things done immediately, get rich overnight. Now, are there crops, are there cash crops that one could actually plant and then within few weeks you're already harvesting instead of having to wait for a long period of time and all of that?
Okay, very good question. You see, if my memory serves me right, in those days, we rear chicken at the backyard. We grow maize, we grow granules, we grow all that. Vegetable takes only 3 weeks. I think maize takes 90 days. So all these things are short crops. Even if you get broiler nowadays, in 2 months maximum, your broiler is ready and you are able to sell.
6 weeks.
These 6 weeks, yes.
Yeah.
Let's say it's poorly fed, let's say 8 weeks,
Okay.
2 months, your broiler is ready. It's quick enough. When you do that and you do it over and over, you can sell broiler 6 times in a year, 6 times in a year, and that is quick enough. So there are so many things. Every 3 weeks, you can harvest vegetable, plant them again, harvest, and so many things you can do. And if you look at for rabbit, for example, is one of the best. If you look at rabbit, I think their gestation period is about 30 days or thereabout. When people engage in all this, it's going to help the society. It's going to help their financial economy. So we need to start practicing all these things and take our mind off the get quick rich syndrome, because you see a lot of people, they want to blow instead of them to grow. People don't want to grow again, they just want to blow. And when you blow, you just blow and it's not going to be sustained. So there's difference between growing and blowing. So the youth need to change their mindset to a point that they need to cultivate the habit to grow into whatever they are doing. Thank you. You are not audible.
Sorry, just before. Thank you so much. Just before I go over to Dr. Dotun, I would like you to mention: are there things we can use locally to manufacture feeds for livestock like rabbits, poultry? The cost of feeds now is actually very expensive, and for someone that doesn't have so much money, that wants to go into poultry farming and then rabbitry, are there things we can use within our surrounding to ensure that these animals have food to eat and they are ready for the market?
Okay, thank you. The what we need is just a little knowledge to be able to just understand what we are doing. You see, people, when you are nurturing a baby and you can't afford to buy baby food, people know other things that they give to baby and that will still keep them growing. They go for pap, they go for millet, they go for this. You see, most farmers or most people are stereotyped that, oh, all I need is pellet feed, and they keep using it and it's not going to make them maximize their yield. You have to be able to look into your environment and say, okay, what is available? If I have groundnuts in this environment and I have soya meal in the north, how can I change the formula of my feed and it's still going to help me bring out my yield in a good way? We just have to understand it. You can imagine somebody in Port Harcourt who is always going to the southwest in Lagos to go and get bone meal. Meanwhile, you have a lot of periwinkle shell wasting away in Port Harcourt. You're going to get calcium from it. You are going to get calcium from the bone meal you are looking for in the southwest too. So the knowledge of knowing what your feed and product contains and how you can just add it to it, this is what you need. And for something like rabbits, all you need is to know the grasses they feed on, to know if you need to plant some potato, you plant the potato, they feed on the leaf, you feed on the tuber. So there are so many things. You can even have um, water leaf as supplement for your chicken. You know, there are so many things we can do to that is readily available in our environment to do. So especially look at Port Harcourt, for example. I like to use Port Harcourt because if you look at the rate of pollution and everything that's happening in Port Harcourt, farmers are really struggling. So you have a lot of shrimp waste, you have a lot of periwinkle waste that people can dry, turn it to powder, and add some maize to it, turn it to pellet to feed their fish and to feed their chicken. As long as they have all the necessary nutrients that is going to help in the growth of the animal or in the growth of the plants. So we need to look inward because the way God has created agriculture is self-sustaining. Nothing is wasted. So we need to just look deep into that. Go for training where it requires. Let's go for training where it requires and do a bit of research because a lot of people are mentally lazy to go into all this small research and be able to feed themselves. So that is what we need to look into. Look at your environment and be able to use what you have in your environment to improve your own yield. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. That was insightful. I hope that subsequently we are going to organize training programs that will show people how to manufacture, produce locally made feeds for different livestock. We'll move over to the next question, but before then, let's go on a very short break. And then when we come back, we'll be talking about the role of private sectors. And Dr. is going to help us with that question. We'll be right back.
Yes, on Bellefu.com you can make cool cash by uploading pictures of your farm produce to Bellefu.com or the new Bellefu app. Simply log in and click Post Ads. Choose the items category and add a title and description of your goods. Next, upload your images, then scroll down to enter the price and your contact information. Finally, click Post an Ad and start making cool cash right away. For more information, visit www.bellefu.com or download the new Bellefu app in the Google Play App Store.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Dr. Dotun,
Yep.
so I would like to know what are the roles that the private sectors can play because I believe the private sectors are very essential to any economy as a bridging the gap between the government and the citizens. So let me know, what are the roles the private sectors can play to ensure that in Nigeria we have food security?
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. Um, as the government is rolling out policies, the private sector should try as much as possible to key in into those policies. We have the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Anytime policies are made, I believe that the government always consider them and bring in some of them into the scene so that they can help the government to bring out the best in their policies. And I think the problem with the private sector is the issue of the economy now. Things are very expensive. Private sectors are still down. I will still go back to the government. Government should try as much as possible to be able to normalize the economy so that the private sector can be able to breathe. Let the private sector breathe. If they cannot breathe, there's nothing they can do. What they can still do again now is we have universities and research centers around us where people engage in researches. I want to encourage the private sectors to go to those research institutes. Let them get facts. Let them get the results of the experiment of the research that has been done, and let them put it into effect to encourage the government and affect the whole economy. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Dotto. Thank you so much for your time. Now, within this short time you spent, you've really shared a lot. The government needs to come up with policies that will help agriculture, and then let the private sectors key into these policies. Let them take these policies
Exactly.
and run with it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dotto.
Please, I want to chip in the aspect of animals that Engineer Boali was the other time.
Okay.
Individuals, we have so many of us that we are doing the same thing. Engineer Boali is rearing chicken. I'm also rearing chicken. We are targeting the same market. How do you sell your home? How do I sell my home? And what comes into play now is what I will call value addition. Value addition. There is a way you can add value to your product. There is a way you can add value to your bit that you have raised when you process it that will make it stand out than the other person. Nowadays, we started using these phytogenics in our food and foods. Talk of ginger, garlic, turmeric, all these things. If you get them processed, you can go a long way and use it for your rabbit processing. It brings out a taste, that people will like, and people will come for your own rather than going to buy from Engineer Boali. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So put value to your product. Know how to enhance your product. Know how to improve your product. And all these phytogenics we are talking about, if you process your meat with them, there are so many benefits you get as humans from them. So many benefits from garlic, so many benefits from turmeric, so many benefits from scent leaf. So those are the addition you can put into your product to make you excel as an individual. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. What you just shared now is going to be a topic for another day. We're going to have some of these training where we can teach people how to package, because packaging on its own is very big and it's very broad. So farmers, they shouldn't just be able to grow and produce crops. They should be able to package it in a way that it will be presentable for them to beat the competition. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I don't know if you still
You're
have,
welcome.
yeah. So, but um, I want Engineer Ola to throw more light into what the private sectors can do. I'm sure Bellefu is in the private sector and um, is is a platform that helps farmers to sell their produce, and then it also helps buyers from getting produce at an affordable rate directly from these farmers. So Ola, I want you to say something on what the private sectors can do to ensure that Nigerians have food on their table.
Thank you very much. Now, before private sector can really affect the farming sector, it has to be policy from the government, one. Then two, I think the private sector should be encouraged to patronize the local market. Patronizing the local market will help people who are producing. It will encourage them to do more production, and they will be able to have more financial um, liberty. The private sector can also sponsor and contribute their own corporate social responsibilities to the agricultural sector. But why I mentioned government in the first place is that, you see, in education sector, for example, there is a law in Nigeria that says that every private company should contribute 3% of their profit annually into the educational sector, but it's not being implemented. If this 3% is contributed into the educational sector, there will be more research from our agricultural institutes. There will be more proactiveness, so problem-solving skills coming out from the institute. So the private sector should try as much as possible to patronize the local market and add value to whatever that the farmers are producing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I don't know if we have questions from the our viewers. Okay, okay, okay. So someone is asking, we can keep talking about improved seeds all the time, trainings and other things in Nigeria. Is price control for farm produce not possible? You know, I was talking with someone some time ago. I think that was last week. I was telling the person that in Nigeria, people are just selling things at whatever price they want. So once they hear that, oh, there is increase in this commodity, they will increase their own price. They will increase the price of garri, the price of fish, the price of meat. So there is no regulation at all. Nobody is regulating any price. Nobody is regulating anything that has to do with food and prices of food in the country. So I want to know. I don't know if there are bodies that regulate the prices of food, but I want to know how can the regulation of food price in Nigeria help the food crisis that we are in?
Well, in my own opinion, it is difficult to regulate prices when the economy is not stable. You see, somebody in Kaduna and somebody in Lagos, they are buying petrol at different prices. So the cost of production for each of them is different. I can't produce at 600 naira and somebody in Lagos produces at 400 naira and you want us to sell at 600 together. It's not possible. So I think what is going to happen is by the time there are more production, it will control the price, because we need competition to be able to control the price. The example that quickly comes to mind is during the time where we still have MTN line coming. You see, when there were no competition, all those things were expensive. Communication was very expensive. But when you have other people coming to it, and there is a lot of competition, and we started seeing per second billing instead of per minute billing. You see, before you can set into competition and have price regulation, you must have a lot of producers, a lot of production that is going into the stream. So the price can be regulated. People will look for ways to minimize their profit and have a lot of turnover. But when the economy is not stable and people because before you can regulate a product, you must be very active in the sector and you are contributing a lot into the sector. If it is subsidy, government is subsidizing fuel, and that is why they can dictate the price to say it must not be more than this. But when you are not subsidizing agriculture, you cannot control commodity price. All those things are just rhetorics until you invest into it. If government did not invest into it, there is no way you can regulate it. Up till today, it is not the amount you are buying chicken in Akwa Ibom that you're going to buy it in Ogun State. Because their commodities, the things they buy, their inputs, the prices of their input differs. So until this issue is addressed, we cannot talk about price regulation. Until either subsidy is coming into agriculture, or we have a lot of competition, people are producing, you have a lot of it. Yes, then we can talk about price regulation, body control. All those price regulatory bodies are existing in Nigeria, but the truth is that all these things can never be implemented until we have abundance production, or we have subsidy or government intervention in agriculture. I hope I answered that question to the audience.
Yes, you did. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Engineer Onamade. Thank you for your time. And then just before we go, you are the global director for Bellefu. Talking about private sector, I want you to throw more light on what Bellefu is about, and as a platform that is in the private sector, how is Bellefu helping farmers to ensure that there is food on people's table?
Thank you for that. Bellefu is a cloud market that is created for farmers, because we look at the problem farmers are facing even after production. It is difficult from the countryside, from the farm, to get to people's table. There are no ways to sell their product until they have middlemen, they have these trying to control their market without even helping them to produce. So Bellefu created this cloud market where farmers can put their products, advertise their products, and they can communicate with the consumers directly. And also, Bellefu also created a platform for training where farmers can share knowledge and understand what they are doing and the diseases control, because diseases are changing on a daily basis. A lot of things are coming with the climate change and all that. So we have created a platform that farmers can have interactions with each other and train each other. Then we also create very good communication platform, which is the radio. We have a radio station, online radio station, where we just talk purely on agriculture, about crop clinic, animal control, safety of farmers, and all that. So it is always good for farmers when they have challenges on their farm to have a forum where they can discuss it and seek knowledge from. And whenever they have product they want to sell, they can also put it on the radio. People who wants to buy can listen to it, and also we match them together, and they are able to solve the marketing problem. So Bellefu is solving marketing problem, communication problem, and also training problem. So we are able to bring all those together, and farmers even out of Africa, in Africa, Nigeria, Africa, and also out of Africa can interact and solve whatever issue that they need to solve, sell whatever product they need to sell. Thank you. That is what Bellefu is all about.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for that. So if you're watching this program, you can go on bellefu.com and register and start selling your farm produce, or you can even register and connect with farmers. All right, so just a recap of what we have discussed today. We looked at the role of the government in solving the food crisis that we have, because currently we are producing less than our population. We are producing less than our population, so we're not able to feed ourselves. But if the mindset of the youth, the mindset of Nigerians can be made to unlearn whatever disposition they have towards agriculture, to let them know that farming is not a poor man's business. Farming is not a dirty job. Farming is what feeds us. So if you can have that mindset and go all out and look for ways we can start producing and creating things naturally. So if you can do that, definitely there will be food on everyone's table. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this Independence special. Special thanks to Dr. Dotson and Engineer Onamade for your time. Subsequently, we are going to be having programs like this where we share insights on how to solve problems that has to do with agriculture, where we train people on how to produce local feeds and types of agriculture they can do right from their rooms and their backyards, things you can readily do and start seeing results in 3 weeks or thereabout. So thank you for your time, and you can download the Bellefu app on Play Store and also download on the Apple Store. Thank you for your time, and Engineer Ola, do you have any other thing?
Yes,
In
thank you very
30
much.
seconds. In 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. Happy independence to Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria. I believe we can solve our own problem. And I also believe that Nigeria is a Garden of Eden that is created between the Atlantic Ocean and India Ocean to feed the world. We can do it. All we just need to do is to change our mindset and do it appropriately so that we can be a pride of the Black race in the world. Happy Independence, Nigeria. Long life, Nigeria. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, guys. And with that, that brings us to the end of this program. Happy Independence and enjoy your day.
Yes, on Bellefu.com, you can make cool cash by uploading pictures of your farm produce to Bellefu.com or the new Bellefu app. Simply log in and click Post Ads. Choose the items category and add a title and description of your goods. Next, upload your images, then scroll down to enter the price and your contact information. Finally, click Post an Ad and start making cool cash right away. For more information, visit www.bellefu.com or download the new Bellefu app in the Google Play or App Store.